Hello, Challenger Nation. I am here with Coach Mike Theis, the sectional winning coach of the Abundant Life Challenger Boys Varsity team. Coach, congratulations on the win.
Thank you, Cowboy. Appreciate it.
So, can you? We didn't get to interview you at the end of the sectional game against Salam Stars.
It was kind of crazy.
Yeah. Can you give a little bit of insight from a coach's perspective, what was happening in that game against Salam Stars, some key elements for that sectional win?
Yeah, I give Salam a lot of credit. When they came here 2 weeks prior, we trounced them, and it was not a close game. And we've been seeing all season when we play a team the second time that it's a lot more difficult. They are able to correct a lot of things that went wrong. So number one was just their effort and energy on the floor. They were hungry. Those Salam Stars. So they did a great job. They really brought their best game, I felt like. That was, while we would have liked to have had a more comfortable win, it was not comfortable. They made it very difficult. Single digits most of the game. We got it up to double digits once or twice, but they just kept battling back. They wouldn't let us pull away. So just the intensity of the game made the victory probably a little bit more sweeter because we had to work really hard to get that win. So there was just the joy of getting the win, but then, once you win, like, you realize what just happened, right? We just won 5 in a row to get to state. Now we're going to the Kohl Center. So that was, joy,
unprecedented.
Never happened before for us. Never even a regional championship. I know that's been talked about too. So that was just like in that moment realizing, wow, this is really happening. We've got over 500 teams in the state trying to get here. 128 in D5, only 4 left. 4 get the privilege of doing that. And one of those teams is us, and this is what you play for. Like, you shoot for this. And some of these kids, they've been dreaming about that since they were in elementary school. And as a coach, you would love to have that experience, but you never know if you're ever going to get to do it. So, like, just a lot of emotion behind, wow, this is so special. We get to do this. Like, we've reached a goal of ours. And just the joy of getting to do that and just living out your dreams. Super exciting. And there's emotion with that too. It's just like, all the hard work. You start thinking about all the hard work, the previous years, the past players that you have. You think about the parents and how happy they are, and the school, how good this is going to be for the school and its community. And it's so big. It's such a big moment, and to be a part of that is just really humbling and just really it's really special.
Coach, thank you for that. Can you speak into a little bit of what's the fuel that's driving this team to state?
There's a lot of fuel coming from different places. I think first and foremost, the guys recognize that they've got skills and talents, and the Bible talks about how God gives each one of us certain amounts of talents, some 10, some 3, some 1. They've been given basketball talent, and they've maximized that. A lot of these guys, they've been playing basketball year round since elementary school. And so when you do that, and when you train as hard as they have, like, good fruit comes from that. And so a lot of this has been, years in the making. So part of that is their fuel, just their love for the sport, their love for basketball, just wanting to maximize whatever this year was going to be, and get going as far as they possibly can. But also the kids, their hearts are in the right place too. Throughout this crazy week with media interviews and articles being written and lots of reporters begging to come to practice, and we're like, no, don't come to practice, you can come after practice. But there's been a lot of what could be distractions. They're not, because their hearts are on staying humble, giving God the glory for each thing that happens, And I've really challenged them this week to be like, hey, another reporter is coming after school, another opportunity to use your platform for your faith.
Yeah.
And while that's not something, I'm requiring them to do, like they definitely have bought into the fact that this is really special. We can use this to, either make ourselves look good or to make God look good.
Yeah.
And they've chosen to make God look good. And I'm extremely proud of them for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's fueled by their love for basketball, for their hard work over the years, and it's fueled by their love for God.
And I'm sure the Steph Currys and others who have faith, who are in that spotlight at the professional level, can probably attest to it's an opportunity and it's always a challenge and a distraction of, do I push it onto me or do I push it onto how great God is and the opportunities He's afforded.
Yeah,
right?
and they've said on camera that God's given us these abilities, so we're giving them back to Him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's a lot of humility that the guys show, and I'm extremely proud of them.
Yeah.
Their parents should be extremely proud too.
Yes, I'm sure that you all are, and grandparents, as you will be seeing this as well. So, Coach, again, never before, unprecedented, going into the Kohl Center. How is that going to be a challenge that the boys will need to come up against in a different environment, such an electric, large environment?
Sometimes these games come down to who can manage their emotions and anxiety the best. Sometimes you got really even teams, and if you're anxious or if you're playing too tight, you can't shoot the ball right, and sometimes you're not thinking clearly through what you need to do on each play. So I think that's a challenge. I think just the spotlight, being on TV, the anxiety that might come with that is a challenge. So yeah, for them, I guess there was a transition between like Saturday. We're so happy, we're just so excited to go to the Kohl Center. But Monday we made an intentional effort of, we can't just be happy to be there. We're good enough to win it all.
Yeah.
But we have to do that. We still have to play good enough to make that happen. So let's just not be satisfied with just being there.
Yeah.
So that's another challenge too, is to, I guess the distraction of, hey, we're in the Kohl Center, this is amazing. Oh, we lost. Oh well. Like, I think it's quite an accomplishment to get there, but I think these guys want more than that.
Yeah. It's been in the conference and regional, as well as sectional. JD and others going, yep. Hey. Great, we've accomplished this, but we're hungry for more. We believe that we have more in store. So that you can tell by their not just enthusiasm, but there's concrete below that enthusiasm.
Oh, yeah.
There's a solid foundation that says, yeah, we've put in the time, and we have a synergy about them. This team, as you guys have watched throughout this season and previous seasons, they just have such a synergy about them, connections and communication within the team, as well as the coaching staff.
And I think that's when you talk about fuel, that's another fuel, is that this team is so tightly knit. They play like it. Their statistics would tell you the same thing. Like there isn't one guy. It's not just one guy. Like we got a team, and so when they're that close, like there's more fuel there, because it's like now you're doing it for everybody, right? You're doing it for the whole team, and so that's one unique thing about us, is we've got a lot of different. We've got a lot of really good players.
Yeah, and a coaching staff that is supportive, has a lot of energy, has a lot of encouragement that we've seen throughout this season. Speak into a little bit of that, of the coaching staff that's around you as head coach.
Amazing coaching staff. I mean, I just think about so many moments during this season and tournament where, I'm the head coach, but there was the halftime speech that Coach Vaughn had, and I knew he was going to be able to do that better than I was going to be able to do that. So he got those guys fired up at halftime when we were losing that game.
The regional match at Monona Grove.
Yeah, that one against Southwestern. And then there was, you know, in the last game versus Salam where we needed a spark, and Coach Z was like, you know, he pulled me down. He's like, I think we should maybe try a press here one of these possessions. And I'm like, that's a great idea. Let's do it. And so we did it, and we got a couple turnovers, and that was great.
Yeah.
And then there was, you know, Coach Z with his quadruple bypass surgery this year, back in early December, and just feeling like he was gone for a period of time, and it wasn't the same. And we rallied around that. We were praying for him every day. But you know, I went to visit him in the hospital, and it was just, we didn't even talk about the surgery. He just wanted to know about the Palmyra game we just played. So eventually we got to the surgery and everything, but he wanted to get back to this team as soon as possible. And when that happened, when he came back, and it was only like a week and a half or 2 weeks. Actually, was it less than a week that he actually came to a game? We couldn't believe it when he showed up. Quadruple bypass surgery just was crazy, but that fueled us too. It was like, wow, he cares that much. This is that important to him that he's not gonna wait till he's fully healthy. Like, he's still here. So yeah, the coaching staff is tremendous synergy. We got Spencer Wright this year, and the guys have loved him, and he's loved being a part of it. You know, we got Coach Matt, who takes all the photos for us, and now we've got, you know, memories to last a lifetime for that.
Oh my word, yes. Just amazing photos too.
He's so good.
Yeah.
And you know, Coach Bo is just, that guy is the youngest man that we have. He's just so energetic, and he's willing to do anything to help. And whether it's drive a shuttle, or whether it's, you know, showing up to practices, and you know getting our bag ready to leave. Like, we just have coaches that are willing to do whatever it takes to help this team. There's no ego with us. There's no, like, we're not territorial about stuff. It's just, you know, we all want to see these guys succeed, and we're just usually all on the same page. Yeah. That was a really long answer to that question about the coaches.
No, so that's
I mean, that's something you might not necessarily see during a game or during the course of the season.
Right.
You know, the fact that we can, just to add to that, we have a lot of behind the scenes meetings about, you know, what's going well on JV, or what's going to go on varsity, or how do we deal with this situation or that situation, and if I don't like the way something's happening, you know, on one of the JV teams, I can go to these coaches and be like, hey, I really think you need to start doing this, and they're not offended by that. They just, you know, and then I'll take their advice sometimes when they've got good advice for varsity level stuff. But yeah, it's really good. We respect each other. We work well. There is good synergy.
Challenger Knights of the Round Table. It's a round table.
Yeah.
Everybody's going, yep, we want to hear and receive from God, and we want to hear and receive from many others.
Oh no, our Challenger flag is coming down.
Don't let the pride of Challengers go down there.
I think I leaned on it the wrong way.
Rise the flag to glory. Speaking of which, just some neat things. If you all have seen some of the articles as well as some of the videos, as you mentioned, Mike, it's just been kind of a media blitz. For Abundant Life and the team itself, and that's one of the things that stood out to me. I was just watching an article or reading an article about the. It was a video. It was the uniforms that you had gotten in the first year as you were coaching. And that it was the brand was Rise to Glory.
Who's ever heard of that brand?
and that you guys had adopted that
Yeah.
as not just the basketball team. It seemed to come across all the athletics.
Yeah, we'll use that hashtag on all our social media posts.
Apologies to whatever company. We'll try the.
Hey, you're getting some run out of this Rise to Glory wherever you are.
If you're still in business.
Yeah.
So the point I was bringing up is, how does that not just be a slogan, but how does that really come out in the way that you guys coach and play?
Yeah, it's
Rise to Glory. Because I saw on the sign, the sandwich board out there, it's not just Rise to Glory, but it's Rise to His Glory.
Yeah. We decided if we were putting this thing on the streets, we were going to make it very clear what that statement means. So we added the His to it. So Because we know what that means internally, rise to glory, and we say that all the time. But if we're gonna, start to put it out there, that's like, okay, here's really what that phrase means. It's about him. And
not your accolades.
Right.
And hardware that you get
rise
to put
to
up
my own glory.
Yeah.
It's been a cool phrase. I mean, it's something that we talk about at the beginning of every season. Some of the veteran players that come back, they talk about that phrase and what it means for some of the younger guys in the program. We've talked about that at basketball camp. Our basketball camp T-shirts have had that phrase on it. It's just something that the more you talk about it, the more it starts to sink in. Just like, hey, this is not, ultimately, there's a bigger purpose to what we're doing. But it's so cool because sports is such a, it's such a motivator for us, right? Like, we love sports. So many people just are so passionate about sports. And you can use sports. It doesn't have to be God over here and sports over here. You can make them the same thing. You can take the passion that you have for basketball or sports, and when you put God in the middle of it and make it also about Him, it doesn't take away from the basketball. It just adds another level of meaning and purpose to what you're doing. And that's what you're seeing here is you've got guys that just because they're playing for the glory of God does not make them try any less at basketball. In fact, if anything, it makes them try more because they've got a bigger purpose than just, hey, I want to win a championship for myself or my team.
Or make a great layup or whatever.
And the fact that we're even still talking about this, success really does matter. It does. Like, when you win games and when you have a bigger platform, it matters because then you get to do additional interviews. Then you get, you might get the press coming to talk to you. So
Nolan Wallace with his sister.
Yes,
in
all of that.
Newspaper,
It's great. It's so good for our school. It's so good for the kids also to be given this opportunity to talk about their faith in a way that, if they've had a 500 season or if they had a losing record, they wouldn't have these same opportunities. So as a coach and athletic director, I've always really valued winning because it does give you these additional opportunities to talk about your faith. So
and grows your faith.
For sure.
How to even, put yourself in front of a camera and not get all, I don't know what to say. And,
exactly.
Or say the same thing 5 times. And you're like, ooh.
So the kids have been given those chances and they've risen to that occasion and they're being genuine. They're not being forced to talk about the Lord. They just, it really is true for them too.
Yeah. Last thing here, Mike, and then I'll let you get on because we got a pep rally coming up here. Whoa, a pep rally! Come on, let's do it. So, Coach, what's one thing that you're looking forward to at the Cole Center? Whether it's in gameplay, it doesn't have to just be one
thing.
What are some crucial things that you're like, if nothing else, I want to see this at the Cole Center?
I want to hold that gold ball. That's what I want. I mean, I would love that. That would be amazing. I think just every step of the way, there's going to be really cool stuff. There's going to be the starting lineups. There's going to be, being on the court itself. Just a stadium packed with people watching the game. There's just going to be so many unique things about it. I'm just looking forward to it all. Including that gold ball. That's what we're going for.
The gold.
Yeah.
Going for the gold. Well, Coach, I want to congratulate you on just such a wonderful season and not just the accolades and the hardware that will now be in the hallways.
Yeah.
And not just the memories that we all have, but just representing the gospel, the living gospel of hope, of drive, of going forward and bringing forward excellence has just been on display within this team, within the coaching staff, and we just want to thank you for that as well as Challenger Nation. As a representative of Challenger Nation, I say that on their behalf.
Thank you.
And we are praying for all that you're looking forward to in the Cole Center for this game tomorrow coming up. Friday, 10:45 a.m., Cole Center. You should be able to see it on WKOW, Channel 27. If not there, please avail yourself of a ticket and come to this historic event, Challengers at Kohl Center tomorrow for the game. What do you would call it? Semifinals.
The state semifinals.
Yeah. Woo.
Yeah.
You don't get to say that very
No.
often. So again, Coach Mike
Thank you.
Theis, thank you. Challenge sign off from here. It's an adios for now.